different modalities of workouts, and I just got introduced to the bars by the bar stars, and it's really, really cool. I just did a pull-up jam with them this weekend. It was very fun. Everybody was real cool. Everybody was really nice. Like, it's a really tight community. So Edward here is trying to kind of display what I do, and I'm still like learning, so I look forward to hanging out more with them and learning a lot about the calisthenics. I'm also with Gymnastic Bodies with Coach Summers, and through him I've learned a lot of technique and modalities of kind of strength and flexibility, endurance, agility, stamina. And on top of that, I really like the Ashtanga Yoga, which is kind of like the spiritual side, which helps you kind of focus to be able to do all this. I'm a mother of two, proud mother of two, and my message to you guys, especially the ladies, is that we're not just, kind of like stuck not being able to do like things that are impossible to you guys. You guys have to empower yourself, think about yourself, and really just go out there and just train in different ways, and ways that are fun and unique, So I'd like to be an inspiration to all ladies to go out there, to contact the bar stars or Gymnastic Bodies, or even whatever you like, but just do something different and good for you. So that's basically what I'm about, and I look forward to hearing back from you guys. If you have any questions, contact me, Carmen at CarmenAmara.com.